Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And it's our health unit for the month of October. We're talking about health and well-being. We certainly hope all of you are healthy and will live for a long time. But sometimes, of course, we have various problems. And one problem we're going to talk about today is kidney stones. They're little pieces of crystallized matter inside your organs, inside your kidneys in this case. You can also get gallstones as well, but we're focusing specifically on kidney stones today. Your kidney, of course, is your 肾脏, and of course, you might have stones in your kidneys at some time in your life, more than once, and so we want to talk about preventing those kidney stones.
Ooh, they sound painful. We're going to give you some tips, and as we always do, guys, we're going to read through our lesson, and then we'll be back. Stay tuned.
The simple secret to preventing kidney stones. Did you know that 1 in 10 people will develop kidney stones in their lifetime? These tiny hard deposits can cause intense pain that sends even the toughest individuals to the emergency room. Kidney stones form when minerals and waste in urine become too dense. Normally, these substances are flushed out with the urine. However, if there's not enough water in the body, or the levels of these substances are too high, they can cluster together and form crystals. Over time, these crystals can grow into hard lumps that may block the flow of urine. The primary symptom is sudden severe pain in the back or side, sometimes accompanied by nausea, vomiting, or blood in the urine. Dehydration is a major risk factor for stone formation. When the body lacks adequate hydration, urine becomes concentrated and stones form more easily. This risk intensifies during hot weather or periods of heavy sweating if you don't replace lost fluids. Additionally, a diet high in salt, animal protein, or sugar, as well as a family history of kidney stones, can increase your risk. Prevention strategies are remarkably straightforward and highly effective. Drink sufficient water every day to keep your urine light yellow and clear. This helps remove extra minerals before they form stones. Certain foods should be consumed in moderation, including salty processed foods, red meat, and foods rich in oxalates like spinach, chocolate, and nuts. Contrary to popular belief, dietary calcium actually helps prevent stones by binding with oxalates in your gut and stopping them from reaching your urine. By making simple lifestyle modifications, you can effectively keep kidney stones at bay.
Okay, guys, let's dive in. The simple secret to preventing kidney stones. Before we continue, Tom, I want to say I have a sister who suffers from kidney stones to a great degree. And there isn't always a simple secret to preventing them. It depends on the person's body. They actually study my sister at the Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale, Arizona. Usually it's men who get kidney stones more than women, although women can get them as well. It can be both, but it primarily goes to the men. And the big joke around town, of course, is that it is painful to give birth to a baby. But women who have had kidney stones and given birth say that kidney stones are actually worse.
Wow.
So that's how painful they can be. So we want to help you out there, those of you who have pretty good functioning bodies, you can avoid them. If you're like my sister, she has other issues, but she has kidney stones at least every 3 or 4 months. They have started calling what she has gravel.
Okay.
She has so much, so it's just gravel.
Yeah, I do have a friend here in Taiwan. He's from Florida, and he gets kidney stones quite often.
Oh.
So he's addicted to painkillers, or at least he was at some point, and I can understand that because I've had stones myself. Only a couple of times, though, but I feel really stupid because I can't remember whether they were kidney stones or gallstones. I suppose I should go to the hospital and look for records and figure out exactly what it was, but we're focusing on kidney stones today, and we're going to begin with a question. Did you know that 1 in 10 people will develop kidney stones in their lifetime? Yeah, 1 out of 10 people will have kidney stones while they're living. Okay, so is that a high number, 1 in 10? I suppose that's about right.
I think it's high. especially considering how painful they are. I think that's quite high. So we're going to dive into this. Did you know, and I didn't know, that we had 10% of the people who develop kidney stones in their lifetime. I've never had one. I'm looking for wood, knock on wood, which means I hope my good luck continues and I don't have any kidney stones. These are tiny, hard deposits, and they can cause intense pain. This pain sends individuals into the emergency room. People want relief. They are so painful that they'll do anything to avoid them. But you either have to pass them or they have to go inside and break them up, which is another procedure. It's a medical procedure. If it's so big that you can't pass it, they'll go in and break them up, I know. But we're talking specifically today about ways to prevent them. You don't want to get them at all. When you talk about a deposit, we're not talking about putting money into your bank account. This just means a layer of matter that accumulates or gathers in your body.
Exactly. So here a deposit just means something gathers in a certain area. It's accumulated there. It's gathered there. You can make a deposit in the bank, for example, take some money down to the bank and deposit the money in your bank account. But here you've got these hard deposits, this collection of these things all together. And then, of course, it becomes a larger piece and it can cause intense pain. And, of course, you might have to go to the ER, which I did one time. I was having dinner in Gongguan and I had this pain that wouldn't go away. And I realized, boy, I got to go to the ER. And I was there for quite some time. But, they helped me out, so I was okay after that. And here in the next paragraph, it says, kidney stones form when minerals and waste in urine become too dense. So this is how they form. This is how kidney stones are made. You've got minerals in your urine, in your pee. Minerals, of course, could be calcium. It could be iron. It could be magnesium or whatever. And they are in your urine before it goes out of the body. Of course, all those things get filtered through your kidneys. And you've also got waste in your urine. But you get more and more of that junk in the fluid in your body. And then, of course, it forms these stones in your kidneys.
Ooh, so these are made up in your kidneys and then they have to come out at some point, right? So you then have to either suffer a lot or we're going to talk today about trying to prevent them. You want to avoid ever getting one. But as we said, they're flushed out with your urine. And the little slot or space that they emerge from is very tiny. So it really is painful because that area of your body is very sensitive, of course. However, it says if there's not enough water in your body or the levels of these substances are too high, like the minerals we're talking about, they can cluster together and form crystals. And that's what we're talking about. This is the deposit. To cluster together just means to come together in a group. You could say we're going to gather together. We're going to group together. We use group as a verb. We're going to bunch together. A lot of kids were bunched together on the playground, playing during recess. I have a cluster of plants in my apartment, and they're just a big group that I've put together. So we use that as a verb just to mean coming together.
Right. They come together in one mass or one substance. And of course, they form crystals. Crystals are when things get together and they form all these geometric planes like shuijing, like crystal. And over time, these crystals can grow into large, hard lumps that may block the flow of urine. A lump, of course, is a large growth of something. Of course, if you're ladies, you should be aware of lumps that might grow in your breasts at certain points of your life. So you need to have that checked out. A lump, of course, is something that's kind of hard inside a softer area. So you get these lumps in your kidneys, and of course, they'll block the flow of urine, so you'll find it difficult to pee.
Yeah, so again, a lump is just a small, solid mass of something. We laugh about kids at Christmas being naughty, and Santa Claus delivers them a lump of coal, that black substance that we use to grill food with, charcoal. But hopefully that doesn't happen to any of our kids listening out there. They're very good. They're very 乖孩子. So here we sometimes get these clusters that form. Crystals reminds me, Tom gave you the Chinese, it reminds me of ice cubes. Or if you get snow, if you're lucky enough to ever see the snowfall, those snowflakes are made up of crystals. So the primary symptom of a kidney stone, just so you know, is very sudden, severe pain. Oh, you know if you've got them. And it occurs in the back or side, so that's where you'll feel the pain. And if it's really, really bad pain, it's often accompanied, or sometimes my sister has these problems. She gets the nausea. You can say nausea or nausea. They're both correct pronunciations. Or vomiting, you throw up. If you're in a lot of pain, that's your body's way of reacting to that pain is nausea and vomiting. That happens to my sister. Or a really clear sign, too, is having blood in your urine. Anytime you have blood in your urine, regardless of whether you have kidney stones or that severe pain, go to see the doctor. Urine in your or blood in your urine is a bad sign.
Indeed. So these are some symptoms of kidney stones. And of course, you'll probably know something's wrong because you'll have a lot of pain and you'll probably need to go to the ER to get some painkillers or whatever. And they'll hopefully be able to take care of you. And here it says dehydration is a major risk factor for stone formation. So, of course, they're always telling you this. Drink lots of water because if you don't drink enough water, you have dehydration.
Water's not enough, though. If you don't combine sodium with water, your body doesn't retain it. It doesn't go into your cells in your body. So it's not just drinking tons and tons of water, guys. You need sodium so that the water goes into your cells. That's important, too.
So are you saying we should drink salt water?
Sodium is not just salt, right? So look that up. It's not table salt. We're not talking about the same thing. Make sure you do some little research on that.
Indeed. So again, if you lack fluids or if you lack water, you're suffering from dehydration. That's a major risk factor. And of course, again, if you don't have enough water, you might get those kidney stones. And when the body lacks adequate hydration, urine becomes concentrated and stones form more easily. So if you lack hydration, if you don't have enough water, here adequate just means sufficient, enough hydration, then the urine or your pee will become concentrated. It will become kind of dense. And of course, that means it's darker in color, maybe orange or yellow or something like that. And therefore, stones will form more easily, more quickly.
Right. So you got to make sure you're paying attention to all of this stuff. Dehydration. It's very easy, especially in the hot summer weather here in Taiwan. Actually, into the fall. It's kind of hot, too. If you are outside and experiencing a lot of heat, maybe you're sweating a lot, you're losing a lot of your hydration in your body. So you want to make sure you're always hydrated, you're drinking some things. Those sugary drinks are not a good substitute for water, guys. Make sure you're not drinking too much in that category. I see a lot of the young kids in my neighborhood lining up at those sugar shops, I call them sugar shops, the sugary drinks that people buy and they drink maybe for an afternoon snack. Those aren't really healthy for you long term. So be more aware of that. I know when you're young, you think you can live forever, but you don't want to get kidney stones one day. They happen more often to people who are older. But still, it's good to stay away from a lot of sugar. So you need to get adequate enough. Enough is adequate. Yeah, maybe you don't have enough of a particular thing and you want more of it. Adequate means acceptable, sufficient, enough. You need to make sure you have enough water and sodium, too. What do we call those? Electrolytes. If you've looked into those, I recommend looking into electrolytes. If you get some electrolytes in your water, it will help you retain some of that sodium that you need so the water can go into your cells. So you need adequate hydration so the urine becomes less concentrated. If you go to the bathroom and your urine is light, that's a good sign. You don't want it to look really, really yellow. If it's really, really yellow, you probably aren't hydrated enough. Tom and I record a lot, and the first muscle in our body to become dehydrated is actually your vocal cords. So I drink water a lot, but I also make sure I have those electrolytes in my water to make sure I'm really being hydrated and not just drinking tons of water.
Okay, we'll continue talking about what to do about kidney stones in just a couple of seconds. But right now we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天健康的单元啊，来带大家看一个肾结石。好，这肾结石不是网红肾结石哦，它真的是肾里面有结石了耶。那这个肾结石英文当中怎么说啊？因为中文肾结石感觉好像是个动作嘛，我有肾结石，我肾结石哦。但是英文直接会用 stone 这个字没有错，就出现在标题 kidney stones。kidney stone。我们今天的文章呢，句型不是很复杂，但是我们可以借由肾结石啊这个主题来学一些有关于健康医学的单字。比如说这个肾结石啊，其实它罹患出来啊，这个肾结石是慢慢这样长出来，有没有？所以在第一段的第一句当中，这个动词的 develop， 这个字就用得很妙啊，我们会觉得是它是发展的意思，对不对？长出来，肾结石这个疾病啊，如果真的长出来有肾结石，其实每10个人就有1个那肾结石为什么特别的让大家注意呢？因为其实只要有肾结石的时候，就是非常非常非常的痛。第二句有一个限定用法的关系子句，也没有简化，所以我们看到后面的 that 一直到句尾，我们左右括号起来。那么前面的先行词是 intense pain。intense 这个是很剧烈的意思，剧烈的疼痛是怎样的疼痛呢？我们限定是哪一种，也就是最坚强的人会因此被送到急诊室的那一种疼痛。好，当然这个肾结石啊是一种沉积物嘛，它不是真的石头，所以在同样第一段第二句的地方，这个 deposit 这个字啊，沉积物，我们特别把它抓出来。那为什么会有沉积物呢？在第二段就告诉我们了，肾结石其实是因为尿液当中的矿物质啊，还有废物啊，浓度变得很高的时候，它就会很浓嘛，就会结块，这个意思。好，所以第二段的这个第一句，我们先把这个矿物质 mineral， 还有废物 waste， 还有我们的尿液啊，其实英文当中是有这个专有名词叫做 urine。那如果浓度过高的时候，我们看第一句最后一个字的 dense， D-E-N-S-E， 很浓，有没有？好，浓的时候呢，它就是会整个结块嘛。不过通常我们会因为我们喝水然后会排尿，这些沉积物其实都会被冲出去。同样在第二段的第二句的地方啊，那个冲马桶的那个冲有没有？整个冲刷出去 flush 这个字是真的会排出去，可是如果水分不足，物质浓度过高，它们就会变成结晶体。接下来的第三句啊，我们特别注意，我们刚刚讲的那些东西啊，英文当中用 substance， 就所谓的物质，我们看得到的摸得到的这些 substance 物质，那它们会变成什么呢？最后一个字叫做 crystal。 crystal 真的是水晶的意思，但它也可以指的是结晶体。所以这些结晶体呢，慢慢就会聚集在一起变成硬块，然后就阻塞了尿液的流动，是很痛的。所以第二段的第4句啊，其实这边开始就又有一个限定用法的关系子句，也是一样在比较后面的地方，从 that 一直到句尾左右括号起来。而先行词2个字是 hard lumps。 那这个 lump 呢的所谓的结块啊，它是通常指没有什么固定形状的，所以像是肾结石的结石啊，或者是糖水的浓度结晶很高啊，糖的结晶啊，那个结块啊，都可以叫做 lump。 好，那么主要的症状是什么呢？主要是背部啊，或者是侧面啊，突然就是很痛很痛，甚至有时候会恶心啊，血尿呕吐都有可能。第二段的最后一句还是不能放过因为有一个 and 省略的分词构句，逗点之后的 and 还有 is 你先把它插入，所以你会发现在第5句当中啊，其实主词的 symptom 主要的这个症状在后面呢，先看到了第一个动词是 be 动词的 is， 跟接下来 and is， 既然都是 be 动词嘛，我们逗点之后 and 删掉， be 动词也不需要。总而言之呢， sudden 很突然， accompanied 有时候会被伴随着其他的症状。 哪些呢？ nausea 恶心啊，甚至是血尿。那么另外呢，有一个很主要的原因，就是因为我们身体水分不够嘛。身体水分不够，在英文当中第3段的第1句主词 dehydration， 这个脱水、水分不足这个字要特别把它抓出来。 dehydration 有时候流汗流太多，水分不够，身体就会 dehydration。 那这个时候身体水分不够的时候，尿液当然就会变得比较浓缩，就会结石容易形成了。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're talking about kidney stones in today's lesson. Of course, most of us probably don't want to talk about kidney stones because, hey, I don't get them. Only 1 in 10 people get kidney stones, and if they get them, they probably know what they need to do. But in this case, we're talking about the fact that some of you out there may develop kidney stones in your lifetimes, and we're trying to tell you what you need to do to prevent them. You may be successful, you may not be successful, but we did say that dehydration is something you need to avoid, okay? When you lack that hydration, the urine becomes concentrated and stones, of course, form more easily. And this risk intensifies during hot weather or periods of heavy sweating if you don't replace lost fluids. So right now it's October, it's going to be getting cooler, so this probably won't be such a big problem. But of course, in June and July and August, times like that, the hot weather will make you sweat more often. And of course, therefore, hydration will become more important.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, we use kind of an interesting adjective here when we talk about fluids. We say, if you don't replace lost fluids, they're not really lost, like they can't find out where they are. Lost fluids or lost blood or lose fluids just means they're taken from your body and there's no fast way to get them back. So we lose fluids or we lose blood. Now, fluids just are anything liquid that we drink, that we put into our body. Soup counts, right? Even some vegetables and fruits that we eat have a lot of juice in them, so that counts as part of our fluids. And it says here, additionally, a diet high in salt, animal protein, we're talking about table salt, be careful. If you can, buy Himalayan pink salt, it's healthier, or the salt from salt rivers and salt lakes are better for you. Animal protein or sugar, moderation is a good thing to consider, right? Also, your family history. Do your mom and dad have a history of kidney stones? What about your grandpa, your grandma? Look into that. My parents didn't have kidney stones, but my sister still got them. So it's not just family history, of course. Notice here that the paragraph starts by talking about major risk factors. These are some of the causes, perhaps, but they're not all the causes.
Exactly. So check up on these things to figure out whether you are at risk for getting a kidney stone and take the necessary precautions. Now, here in the next paragraph, it says, prevention strategies are remarkably straightforward and highly effective. So these are prevention strategies, things that you can do ahead of time. They're plans that you can make ahead of time to prevent kidney stones. They're not necessarily effective. They might be, but of course, here we're describing them as being straightforward. If something's straightforward, it's very simple, it's very honest, it's right to the point. There's no beating around the bush with these strategies. They're pretty much simple. These are the things that you need to do. They're quite simple, and they are highly effective. Hopefully, they will be effective for you, and hopefully you'll never know what a kidney stone is in your lifetime.
Oh, that would be a wonderful thing. So here are prevention strategies, some things you can do. And as Tom says, they sound remarkably. Remarkably just means something that you want to note. It's worthy of noting. Straightforward. They're not complicated. Straightforward, simple. I think those are similar words. Clear, direct. That's another way to talk about straightforward. I'm sure some of you out there have friends who are very straightforward when they talk to you. One culture that is oddly not straightforward in communicating with others is the Japanese culture. They are never straightforward, and sometimes I just want to say, just tell me what you think, or tell me how you really feel. But I even have friends here that aren't very straightforward, or friends from America that we have this saying, beat around the bush. If someone is beating around the bush, they don't want to tell you something, and so they're kind of, hedging. They're kind of delaying telling you something that you really need to know. And sometimes you just want to say to them, just tell me. Just say it.
Just come to the point. That's probably a point of contention between the West and the East. Maybe people in Taiwan or Japan think Westerners are too direct. My goodness, you're not sensitive enough about our feelings. You're just coming right out and saying it.
My Taiwanese friends think that the Japanese are not straightforward, so it's not just us, yeah.
It's a matter of degree, but again, these strategies are very straightforward. They're very simple. They're direct to the point. Drink sufficient water every day to keep your urine light yellow and clear. Okay, so make sure you get enough hydration during the day. It's not just water either. I think you need to eat lots of vegetables and things like that because there are moisture. There is moisture.
Fluids in them. Mm-hmm.
Fluids, exactly, in those things. So, yeah, it's not just water only. But if you do that and if you keep your urine nice and clear, this helps remove extra minerals before they form stones. So you kind of want to keep flushing those minerals out of your body.
That's right. So certain foods, they say, should be consumed or eaten in moderation. Moderation just means not too much and not too little. Don't go crazy. Just be wise about what you're doing, moderation. And that's what we're looking for. Within limits, you want a balance. You want some restraint. Don't eat too much chocolate. Someone heard dark chocolate was good for you, so they were eating tons and tons of it. Moderation. And that includes things like salty processed foods. Processed foods aren't healthy. Red meat, foods rich in oxalates or oxalates. You can pronounce it either way, oxalates. Like spinach. Too much spinach can be dangerous for you, believe it or not. Chocolate and nuts. Be wary of how much you're eating. Contrary to popular belief. It's just the opposite of what most people think. That's what that phrase means. Dietary calcium actually helps prevent stones. See, some people might think, well, I need to eat less calcium, obviously, if the kidney stones are calcium deposits. So it's just the opposite of that. It says eating dietary calcium means not supplements, guys, not pills, but the real food. That actually helps prevent stones by binding or combining with oxalates in your gut. Your gut is your stomach. It's the part where food is digested. We just talk about having a gut feeling about something, your gut. That can help stop the calcium deposits from reaching your urine because they're binding with oxalates.
Right, so this is all chemistry here. Of course, you got the dietary calcium or calcium you get in your diet. And yes, it will bind with those oxalates in your gut. Your gut, of course, is your digestive system, your stomach, your intestines, and things like that. And hopefully these things won't get into your pee. And by making simple lifestyle modifications or slight changes, you can effectively keep kidney stones at bay. So if you keep something at bay, you just keep it away. You keep it in a position where it's not going to cause any problems for you. And a modification is just kind of a slight change. Maybe your motorcycle isn't running very well, so you take it down to the repairman and have some modifications made. Just change this and change that so it runs a little better. It's not like totally fixing it, but it's kind of changing it in some way.
Okay, guys, someone who's going to help you modify your English so it's even better is our Chinese teacher. Let's listen.
所以我们刚刚说，如果大量出汗啊，天气很炎热啊，你又没有水喝得不够的话，这时候风险很高。可是我们在第3段的第3句啊，特别没有讲到 water 这个字，它有讲到的是这个液体的这种流失，在第3段第3句最后一个字的 fluids， 因为水其实就是水。那我们知道大量流汗啦，或者是有时候我们运动的时候会喝运动饮料嘛，然后军人甚至会含盐片，有没有？都是让身体的电解质可以平衡。 可是其实刚刚讲到这个大量流汗，同样在这一句话当中的 heavy sweat、heavy sweating 名词状态，这个 heavy 特别圈起来。我们的大量会觉得我好像要用很多的那种形容词，没有，他们用的是 heavy sweat 大量的流汗。那当然还有一个原因，就是因为或许你们家就有这种体质啦，我们称为家族史。所以在第3段第4句当中，家族史英文真的叫做 family history。family history。好，最后面我们还是要看一下，那我们要怎么样预防肾结石呢？当然第一个水一定要足够啦。那这个足够，我们国中就学过 enough 这个字，对不对？在最后一段的第2句，我们来学另外一个 S 开头的 sufficient。sufficient 这个字也很常用哦。那喝了足够的水，我们怎么样判断呢？基本上我们的尿液是比较清澈，而且是淡黄色的，所以就表示呢不是那么的浓。来到了接下来的第4句的地方，有一个关系子句的简化，先行词是前面的 foods 食物。食物怎么样呢？ Rich 跟句尾左右括号起来，它省略的是 that 跟 are， 或者是 which 跟 are 都可以。那么在关系子句当中有一个单字叫做草酸盐 oxalate， 这个草酸盐的食物呢，就是会让我们的结晶比较容易形成，所以我们要多喝水，然后呢要特别注意我们的饮食，才能够预防肾结石哦。以上是我们今天内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
We're at the end of our lesson for today. Thanks for joining us, and please don't get any kidney stones in your life. Take the necessary measures to stop that from happening. And if you do get them, we hope you have a quick recovery. And also make sure you check out our content on YouTube and Facebook. And we look forward to seeing you next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.